Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Last Night. Last Night is a new content that was added recently, and for me is even newer because I was not playing the game until like January the 9th, and this was launched on January the 3rd. And I had not even used this or played this. I remember I think it was like on Friday that I went in and tried it a little bit, but I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. So I decided to just leave it for today, read the patch, understand how it works, and then after that, do my testing and create a video. So I have been testing this for like 2 hours now, and I think that I finally understand it enough for that I can be concise and give you actual good information regarding this. So let's start with the rules of the game, guys. Any buff that you use inside this battle is going to be half, right? So instead of giving you with Ariness 70% attack and 30% crit rate, you actually are going to be getting 35% attack and 15% crit rate, and it goes the same for all buff, no matter what it is that you apply to your characters. Something else aside from this is that the boss doesn't have an elemental type, so it is not fire, it's not wind, it's not water, right? It's not light, it's not darkness, which means that characters like, for example, Diana are completely useless. Like, Diana would not do anything here because she would not be able to give you the aura effect increase that only works if you're attacking an enemy with a weaker with weakness against the elemental typing of your character. So the only thing that she would give you is just 15% crit rate, and I don't think that that's actually something that you should be doing, sacrificing another character to add her. I don't think that's something that you should be doing. The boss also doesn't have any defense nor magical resistance, which means that it really doesn't matter if you bring characters that reduce defense or magical resistance, because you cannot go down lower than 0, right? I have tested this before, and you cannot go lower than 0 defense or magical resistance, which means you don't do any more damage. About debuff, any debuff that you use would not stay on the boss for all of the characters. Like, for example, let's think about Masquerade Bunny Celia, right? Normally, what this customized does is that it puts the debuff on the boss that increases the chain that you are doing by 1, right? Every attack is essentially double. So for her, when she attacks the boss, instead of getting 3 chains, you are going to be getting 6 chains, right? That would work perfectly fine, would not be a problem there. But once the next character attacks, it would not work. It would not be applied to the next character. So the same would go if you're reducing the defense. The same would go, like, for example, characters like Zenith. Zenith, that when she attacks, she put a debuff on the enemy that increases your incoming damage by 20%. It would not work on all other characters. It would only work on Zenith. And something else is that you are going to be going with 20 characters. The SP doesn't matter. All characters will be using their abilities, and they attack in the order in which you add it to the battle. I'm going to be talking about that in just a moment. So let's go to it now. So this is how it looks. You see here I have 20 characters selected. It shows me a couple of things that I'm going to be explaining to you in a moment, and it pretty much is what allows you to set up everything in the order and everything that you want to do. So if you go here to participation, you can replace characters, and all you have to do is just select this and then select this one, and that's it. You would have an additional character. This character will be replaced, and then you're going to be able to use this, right? Something else here is that if you want to move your characters, you can definitely move them by doing something like this, just dragging them, right? Dragging the character, the portrait of the character to wherever you want to put it. But for example, things get more complicated if you wanted to, for example, put this character here, but you wanted this one to be still the next one, right? So when you do this, you see that you are moving this to the last spot, and this one is going to the position in which this was, and then all of the rest remains the same. So you will need to manually move everything again, you don't really have to do that. All you have to do is just select the option here for insert, and then what you do is that you move this character, for example here, and then now as you can see, the character, it is still the order is still the same, right? What it is essentially doing now is that it's just moving everyone else one number in the queue, in the order, right? So if I want to return this one to be the last one to attack, all I have to do is just move it to the last, and then now I have everything. Now I want to replace this because I wanted to continue with the order that I had before, and as you can see, everything is back to how I want it to be. There are a couple of things that you can notice here, is that some characters have some numbers below here and some don't have anything. In this case, they don't have anything here because they are not attacking. So they are only giving you buff. So it doesn't matter if they have gear or if they don't have gear, because they are not going to be increasing your damage. Something else is that the characters here, for example, show you a magical attack number here, and this is the number of attacks that they do. So this is going to be the chain, the total chain that you're going to be accumulating, right? So this is the magical attack or attack, and this is the amount of attacks that the character does. So what you pretty much should be doing is just using all of the characters that deal the most amount of chains, and then, you know, go just go down, right? That's the order that you should be following. So I'm going with the first one, this one that has 7 chains, and then this one has 6 because of the buff that she has, and then these ones also have 6. Then I go down to 5, and then all of these characters have 5, right? And then I can also just move this here, and then all of these have 5, and then all of these have 3, and then this one have only 1, right? So that's how it's going to be working. So for the specific battle, let's go with it. We can just click here and go to battle, and you have 2 options. You can just, you know, watch one by one and see how it goes. I'm going to be leaving it a little bit because I want to show you guys. For example, Celia is going to attack, and she's going to have 7 chain, right? And then this would have 13, and then with this on 6 is 19. You see, if we would continue with the debuff, instead of Zenith giving me 6 chain, it would actually be double that. It would be 12, and as you can see, it didn't work like that. So that's how I discovered that the buff actually don't continue running aside from the turn in which the character used the attack. You can also see here like the amount of damage that they do, right, and how much damage they are doing and everything. And yeah, you see the total damage as well here, right? And there you go. So now I can see here that I did 11 million damage, and I can see here which are going to be the rewards that I'm going to be getting. I can click here and I can see which are the characters that they're dealing the most damage. As you can see here, Laddle is going to be the one that's dealing the most. Eleanor should normally deal more than this. I think she missed a crit, and that's the reason why she's dealing less damage. And also I think that she definitely has the correct gear. And yeah, she also didn't deal all the damage that she should be doing because she probably missed a crit. Normally she deals more than that. But that's where things comes, right? You can retry this, and you probably will notice that I will not deal the same amount of damage. And the reason why you will not be dealing the same amount of damage is because probably some of your characters didn't crit. Some of your characters probably crit 2 times, but they didn't crit the other one. Right, in this case I still did the same, right, around 11 million, right? But if I try it again, let's see how it goes. You know, I did a little bit more damage here, and it's because of what I'm telling you, right? For example, just you can see here, Eleanor is actually dealing more damage in this situation, but probably some of the other characters actually did less damage because probably they didn't crit, right? So I'm just going to be showing you guys the different teams that I created and how I was, you know, trying to improve my teams, right? For example, this is the first team that I started with. I just did a couple of changes a moment ago, right? But I still, like, you notice that before I actually have this like this, and even though they deal more chains, the reason why I'm doing like this is because this character doesn't deal as much damage as Leatrice. So it's better to have Leatrice accumulate a couple more of chains, and then she's going to be more effective. That's the reason why I'm not adding, not putting this character to a start here before Justia. So let's go with this second team that I created. And as you can see here on this second team, what I did is that I actually removed a couple of characters that were on my other team, right? On this team, as you can see, I have Rue and I have Scheherazade, right? But because they have like 5 attacks, right? So they increase a little bit my chain. And in this scenario, what I did is that I just removed them and then added these characters that they have more damage, but they have less chains, right? It's 2 less chains that I'm having here. And the reason why I did it like this is because I wanted to make sure to see how important the chains were, and they actually are very, very important. Like, let's go with this thing real quick and battle here and see how much damage I can do. As you just can remember, I was dealing around 11 million with the previous team. So let's see how this thing goes. As you see, we have 10 million here, and something that you can notice is that when this one have a couple more of chains, he actually is able to deal like almost, I think it's 3 million, right? And this one as well can go up to 3 million. And like this one goes up to like 1 million. Probably I just miss a couple of crits here, and that's the reason why, yeah, here, you see here, I definitely miss a crit here. So that also results in like many changes, right? Depending on if you crit or not. So what you should be doing is that when you create a new team, just don't think that that team is worse just because you try it once and it did less damage. You actually need to repeat the battle at least 3 to 5 times to make sure that the damage is not going, you know, higher than that, because probably you just miss a lot of crits, and that's the reason why you are stuck in a specific amount of damage. And as you can see here, yeah, I went up to 11 million, so it's dealing basically the same amount of damage. It probably could do even more, because this costume can normally do like 1,300,000, and it's only doing 800,000, right? And the reason probably for that is that she missed a crit, right? Okay, but as you can see here, that's 11 million. I tried this team a lot of times, and I was not able to get higher than 11 million. So I decided to just, you know, test something else. So what else did I do? I was thinking like, yes, if I'm missing so many crits, probably something that I can do is just add a character that gives me more crit, right? No, before that, what I did is, oh yeah, that's definitely what I did. So what I did is here, right? What I did is that I removed Ladle that was giving me attack percent, and added Diana to have more crit rate, right? So I was thinking that it would increase my damage because I would be critting more with all of my characters, but we can see here how much damage I'm going to be doing. And I'm still remaining in the 11 million damage, right? Yes, they are critting. Yes, they are dealing a little bit. Yeah, you know, see, Scheherazade this is the normal damage that Scheherazade would do if she crits all the attacks. But my Ladle normally would do almost 3 million, and this one almost 3 million as well. But they are going down now. So, yeah, definitely doesn't work. So let's go back here to the other theme. So the final theme and the last one that I tested, which was the one that allowed me to do the current record that I have, that is 13 million, right? That record can go as high as 14 million. The problem is that I'm just missing a lot of crits, so that's why it is like this low. So let's go here with the theme, and it's this one. So as you can see, there are a couple of differences here. I'm running Ladle again because I definitely need that attack. And what I am doing right now is that I'm using 2 nukers at the end. The only problem I think that I have here is that Nartas is actually he deals a lot of damage, even more than what like probably any other character that I may add here. But if I have more copies of him, probably I would be able to deal way more damage, right? Like at least 4 to 3 copies of him would be way better. And as well, a couple more copies of Lato would also be great. But let's see how it goes, right? Let me test this out. Also, I was thinking about like removing another character from here and then adding Diana instead. But I just don't want to lose those 5 chains. I mean, I think 5 chains is a lot of damage. So let's go test this out here. Alright, so as you can see, we have a problem here. Lato didn't crit and Nartas didn't crit, and that is reducing my damage by a lot. So that's what I was saying, right? Just don't because you know, just doesn't because you try the team and it is doing less damage, it doesn't mean that it's worse. You should always try the battle 3 to 5 times to make sure that they are critting and that you are actually getting the total amount of damage that you should be getting. Right, again here it's going lower. You see here, this is the total damage that I should be doing. The problem here again was that Nartas didn't crit, and it's not only Nartas that didn't crit, this one missed a crit as well. And yeah, so probably yeah, all the reductions on damage is within. So let's actually try it out and see if I can remove a couple of characters. It's one character that is not dealing that much damage. Who can it be? I think this one is not dealing any damage, so let's replace this one and let's add Diana there. Right, what I can do here is insert Diana to be here, and let us try this out because I'm going to be having more crit rate. I should be more consistent. And actually not more consistent, and I'm losing a lot of damage. As you can see, 5 chains reduces the total amount of damage by a massive amount. Let us try it again, see if probably it was just that they still miss, because it's not a lot of crit if you think in consideration, right? Because it's 15 for from Leatrice, 25 from Helena, that's a total of 40, and then you have 15 more, so that's 55% crit rate. So if your characters actually doesn't have like a decent amount of crit rate, you would still be missing a lot. So you can see here, yeah, I'm still missing a lot of damage here. Probably this didn't crit because on the last one she dealt way more damage than what he's doing here. So let's one more try and see if it is working. I don't think that it's going to be resulting on an actual increase. Yeah, 12 million, it went up a little bit. Still missing a crit here. Yeah, but I'm losing like 1 million damage. Oh, no, I'm losing like 100,000 damage here. I'm losing a lot of, I lose like 200,000 damage here. So those chains, they are definitely important. So it's way better to have the chains than to have that additional crit rate. And I'm not even sure if that crit rate is actually working, right, because of the way in which Diana actually works. So let me just remove Diana and let us add this character back into the grouping. Probably I can use this instead. This one does more damage. Let's try with this one. What I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be putting this one at the start here, and let's go. The video is already plenty long, so I'm just going to be ending with this last test. Way less damage because they miss a lot of crits. That's the biggest problem, right? The problem is the crit rate is really important, and you actually need to have a lot of crit rate so for this to actually work. And like sometimes like what I was talking with a friend, and I was like, yeah, sometimes you just need all the planets to align. Like in this particular case, right? You just need all the planets to align, all your characters crit, and then boom, you have it. You get an increase, you deal more damage because the testing that you were doing actually was better than whatever you were trying before, right? As you can see here, Elionir is the one that is dealing the more damage here with 3 million, followed by Lado with 2,800,000, Scheherazade with like 1 million, pretty much almost 1,300,000. Then still Elionir here with 1 million, Nartas with 1 million. This one normally does the same damage all the time. And you see here Anastasia that I added, I removed Gray that normally was like around here in damage, and then Anastasia actually has 600,000 damage, which is really good, right? We also have Leatrice here. Leatrice actually missed a couple of crits because normally she should be doing like 600,000. This one should also be like around 600,000. So I'm missing a couple of crits still, so the damage gonna still go higher than what you can see. Again, guys, the video is already plenty long. I know that I have been talking a lot, but I just want it to be as clear as possible. I'm hoping that this helps you guys a lot. Let me know in the comments, is there anything that I said that maybe is wrong? Because again, I'm pretty sure I'm not completely right on everything that I say, so probably I'm missing something. Probably there is something that I said that is not completely right. If that is the case, please let me know. I really would like to know if that's something like that is happening. And if you have any other strategies or like something that you in particular are doing for this, would be great. Also, don't take it by heart that you have to have the same characters that I have, because at the end of the day, like for this battle, what you have to do is use whatever you have, right? So just don't worry about not having the characters that I have. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and that is helpful for you guys, and see you in the next one. Peace.